The knowledge of the laws of existence is of paramount importance. Here, in our short presentation, we will attempt to do justice to the constitution of existence, to the legislative assembly of existence, to the existential council of existence. To the constitution of existence, to the legislative assembly of existence, to the executive council of existence. The constitution of existence is the non-duality of law and democracy. The fact there is no duality between law and democracy is the constitution of existence. The indivisibility of law and democracy, that's what it means. This is the constitution of existence in all infinity and all eternity. The subjectivity and objectivity is not some idea like a concept of reason, but it resides in the non-creation and destruction and non-manifestation of matter in any different form. The law is existence. The law that cannot be created or destroyed, the law that does not manifest in any different form, and the law without any written constitution or built institution, or the law without an iota of private property in all infinity. We will see later in our short presentation how law and democracy work by taking into consideration one of the essential laws, the essential laws of knowledge. Here it suffices to say that the working of the law, without being created or destroyed, or manifesting itself in different form, holistically hinges on the essential democracy that is without duality to the essential law. On the basis of this on the basis of the constitution of existential legislative assembly that work in accordance to the essential law and the essential democracy is given. On the basis of the constitution, the essential legislative assembly that work in accordance to the essential law and essential democracy is given as a society, as essential law, communication, habitation, production, transportation, that are the essential democracies of society as essential democracy, nature as essential law, time, event, space, and motion as essential democracy of nature, state as essential law, liquid, solid, gas, and light as essential democracy, essential democracy as essential democracy, knowledge as essential law, and idea, matter, empirical method, and functional method as essential democracy. These are the legislative assembly that legislate in accordance to the constitution in existence. This is what we just said. The essential laws and democracies are the ones that legislate in existence in accordance to the constitution. As we said, here we will use knowledge to illustrate the working of the law in democracy. Knowledge stems on the relationship of matter and idea. That's in how idea and knowledge exists, and these democracies of knowledge always can give us knowledge back, and not create knowledge, not destroy knowledge, but always maintain knowledge as a democracy of knowledge. Therefore, knowledge stems on the relationship of matter and idea. The idea that resides in matter, and the matter that contains an idea, in order to know, is then empirically investigated and become known. Just even litmus test, if you put the acid that's the consciousness, but it will show that what kind of knowledge that exists in that base or acid. But we'll come back to that. However, the result of the relationship between the idea, matter, and empirical method cannot attain the realm of knowledge without satisfying the functional methods that demand the satisfaction of the essential constitution. That is the non-duality of law and democracy. If that knowledge that is derived by ideas relationship with matter, and matter's relationship with idea, and that's empirically investigated, if it is not within the non-duality of law and democracy, then that's not knowledge. This is then where the half-baked knowledge of science and religion toward knowledge, contrary to the legislative of existence, by inculcating concept of mass, atoms, subatomic particles, that is perceived to be the constitutive assembly of matter. Hence, theory that bases itself on divisible matter that result in quantitative and qualitative change becomes the order of scientific method and social theories. That is, basing on the full concepts and principles of law and democracy, scientific institutions, political scientists, social activists, and social thinkers, economists, economic movement, organized under religion or party system, find their ways to establish nation state with their own specific way of life. That is based on their own food science, sex science, thought science, and health science, or establish things like periodical tables. That if each element is specific idea that contains a specific idea within it, to say that iron or gold or diamond and all the other elements have a different atom or a different atomic weight, and therefore the idea that it's contained in them is different. And within the relationship with each other, they give us different quantitative and qualitative change in order to establish different events in society. That is, as a specific material manifest, they actualize a specific social history and existence. As a specific material manifest, they actualize a specific social history and existence. Hence, setting society in contradiction to the law and the democracy of existence, as necessarily and sufficiently gravitate it toward extinction rather than existence. The more that it gravitates itself away from the law and democracy, then it will gravitate the idea that they form to extinction. They can't really extinct what is not there, but what their ideas are about the idea of humans or whatever gravitate that towards extinction, because they hold different wrong idea about existence. That's why we say that science and religion are the primary problem of any society. There is no doubt about that, 100% surety. They are the very wrong in knowing and understanding existence. They are tested wrong to the tune of the fact that no truth or positive knowledge can ever be derived from them. On the contrary, then, the idea that is contained in matter, investigating using empirical method and the relationship of idea and matter, is as the non-creation and destruction of matter, the non-manifestation of matter in different form, the non-written constitution and institution in existence of matter, hence satisfying the constitution and legislative assembly of existence. We cannot reduce the theory of knowledge to divisible laws and democracies. We cannot reduce essential events to atoms, subatomic particles, as bring forth qualitative and quantitative change in existence, ensures the existence is void of material and social history. Existence is void of material and social history, which a religion and science is based on. As a result, the essential legislations that are based on the Constitution and legislated by the Legislative Assembly is that existence for all eternity and in all infinity is indivisible. Laws and democracies, as presented in the Existential Assembly of Existence. As a result, the existential legislation on the basis of the Constitution and legislated by the Legislative Assembly is that existence for all eternity in all infinity is indivisible, laws and democracies, as presented in the Existential Assembly of Existence. That is, be it in the realm of time, motion, space, event, habitation, idea, or matter, etc., as given as the Legislative Assembly, existence contrary to the science and religion does not, in theory and practice, exhibit an iota of divisibility or change. Existence does not hold time to ideas or habitate in different places. The reason we cannot objectively and subjectively establish where we are in space is because there is only one infinite space. That being everywhere is being in the same place without being relatively in different space. Yeah? Without even relatively being in different space, I would say if it's not even there, that you cannot be, you can always, wherever you are in the same space. You cannot establish where you are in space because of the infinite nature of space. Therefore, we cannot assume different habitation. We cannot assume different time. We cannot assume different motion. We cannot assume different event. Existence, as a result, vehemently, categorically, unequivocally reject all religion tenets and all scientific findings. That is, reject materialism and social history based on the basis of idealist concept of creator and creation, or on the basis of manifestation of matter in different form, following the transition of quantity to quality in the development of nature. They, as the idealist and the materialist school of thought, argue only to refute one with the other. They assert that it is impossible to separate thought from matter, the things. To say matter is the subject of all changes, or in materialistic, all creation is a fruit of the decision by the Creator. These two very wrong of existence assert, contrary to the existential law and existential democracy, the development of and change are inherent in nature, due to the struggle given by the internal contradiction that is innate in nature. This innate contradiction, as they have put it across in the relation of idea and matter, results in the transition of quantity to quality or quantity to quality. That materialists, they have revolutionary democracy. They only think that only quantity change to quality, but they think that the idealists think that quality also change to quantity. They engage in Heraclitus and Parmenides, contrary to change concept of change, where the former holds change to be the nature of existence, and where the latter holds change to be an illusion. That is, ancient history, that was in ancient history, modern history of the Big Bang and state and the aberration of logic, that stems from scientific method of hypothesis and hypothesis. That the scientist, based on his learning, refute one wrong and accept one right. Through hypothesis and null hypothesis, he investigates and he does collect data, he analyzes and he learns. Where there is no learning in existence. Refute one wrong and accept one right, where the findings are subjectively subject to change on the basis of new findings. They can't be refuted, means the findings. However, as we have seen, the theory of knowledge, that is, knows rather than learn, on the basis of the duality of law and democracy, holds existence indivisible in all infinity and for all eternity, following the existential constitution and the existential legislative assembly of existence. Then, when we had this existential and existential democracy, the constitution and legislation assembly, then the third part of the existential society, the third part of the existential society, together with the existential constitution and existential legislature, assuming that work in accordance to the non-duality of law and democracy, is the executive council of existence. The Executive Council, that seems, as we said, on the non-duality of object and subject, based its first part of its task on the blocking of any objective or subjective divisibility in existence. Objectively block of any objective and subjective divisibility in existence. The second part of the Executive Council is the upgrading process that directs itself to the Legislative Assembly, i.e., the reason why objectively and subjectively the constitution of existence, the legislative assembly of existence, is void of any divisibility in all of infinity. As we said, then this goes back to not goes back, but this goes back to the legislative assembly and prove why the blocking is a necessary and sufficient condition on the basis of the laws and democracies that are given by the legislative assembly. Thank you.